Hey guys, this is Johnson Gamers bringing to you another Battlefield 1 video. In this video, it's going to be a little bit different than I've done in the past videos. This one is actually going to be a breakdown for the medic kits. I know that some people are, looking a little for more information. They've been looking on YouTube. There's a lot of searches going on for it right now. I know that Matimio, Level Cap, a lot of those guys that do a lot of the analytical kind of videos, they do really good breakdowns. Jack Frags also does, so just those guys alone do really good breakdown videos. So I'm going to try to do a couple little, kind of trivial things that you guys might know. If you don't know, then it's going to help you a lot using this class. So yeah, let's begin. Basically, if you haven't played or if you haven't been a part of the Battlefield community for a long time, the medic class is probably going to be one of your more essential classes to do. I know every one of the classes has their own, special thing, but with the medic class, at least in the past, probably almost every one of the Battlefield franchises, you've been able to revive the enemy. And to be honest, in Battlefield 1, this is going to be a step above what it was in Battlefield 4 or Battlefield 3, or any other Battlefield for that matter, because the respawn time alone has been bumped up from just doing a basic 5 to what was it, like 8 seconds, I think I saw, in the Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 3, to right now it is basically a 3.5 seconds as soon as you die to get to the respawn menu, and then from the respawn menu it's another 10 seconds or 12 seconds depending on, and so that time is crucial in games like Operations or Conquest, Rush. Pretty much any game mode that you're going to be playing, you're going to need to be back on that battlefield, getting kills, helping your teammates capture objectives, things like that. So with the medic class, it allows you with one of the gadgets. It's called the syringe. Basically, in the Battlefield 4, it used to be the revive paddles, but in this, it's the syringe. And right now, the syringe is actually a very, very useful tool because it does allow the medic to revive the downed friendly player. So right above their body, you'll see that they've got like a little revive icon. If you are the medic that has the syringe, you'll get that icon and you'll be able to run up to them, pull out the syringe, and then you'll be able to tag them in and get them back up onto their feet. This, like I said, this is very useful because it definitely, if you say for instance they're playing in a game of Operation, that game is very, very heavily controlled by defense and offense. And if say you're on offense, if the defensive team takes down your push to an objective, it takes your team roughly right around 15 seconds to get fully back into the game. Not even that, but it also takes you a while, like your team, to get back to that objective. So if they have a really, really good defense going on at that time, and they're taking out 4 or 5 of you at that time, you're pretty much losing that momentum that they're gaining. Not to mention that it also affects the overall score. If you guys haven't seen in Operations, they do record the offensive deaths, so they keep a total of that, and if you run out of deaths before you've captured all the objectives, then you basically lose that sector. So reviving is a really, really crucial part of the medic class. And then they also have other gadgets too that are very, very important too. But let me get back into the kind of the weapons side of it for a few minutes here. Real quick, I just want to go over a couple different weapons that you guys might want to think about using if you haven't already. Right off the bat, you are getting the C Rigatoni. Sorry if I butcher these names. I am not great at pronouncing them. But the C Rigati. The factory version, the optical version, and the trench version, all three of them have really good stats for what they are. The reloading time is kind of terrible, but overall for the beginning weapon, they actually are pretty good in my opinion. I've used them quite a bit, and so far I haven't really noticed anything terrible about them. I like them quite a bit. So and then you go into the M190 or the 1907. I use the sweeper version because it has a little bit faster reloading for me, and it shoots a little bit faster. Let me see here if I can find the fire rate. Let's see here. The storm version and the optical version are also really good, but I think you're getting right around 357 if I'm not mistaken for the reloading. Which is basically just how quick it takes, and the fire rate is also at 357. So you're getting a really fast rate of fire that's going to be crucial in big fights. I know that with the medic class, especially in the beta, they were really terrible on their the damage that they were doing to other players, and it also affected how little there was in each magazine, as well as the rate of fire. All of that played a really crucial role, and to a point, they still do play that, because they did a great buff to the medic class, but you can still notice that the rate of fire and the amount in each gun, the magazine, is just a little bit lower. So you have to be very careful about what you're doing, who you're shooting at, and how much you're using per engagement. If you're not and you're just shredding bullets, then you're basically pretty much just shooting yourself in the foot come time to deal with 3 different guys. You definitely you're definitely gonna need to have that full magazine. You're definitely gonna need to have a faster rate of fire to be able to take those guys out. So, in my opinion, the M1907 sweeper version is definitely pretty good, and so is the optical version if you wanted to do that. And then the final gun that I would probably recommend is gonna be the auto-loading 8.35. And then the marksman version, like if you wanted those longer range engagements, that is definitely a good gun to have. It gives you 5 bullets in a clip, which is kind of small, but at the same time you are getting a greater range, the longest range that I know of in the medic class, so it'll definitely help you out with that. Going on to sidearms, there isn't really much to say. You're not really getting any more diversity between the different classes, the support, the assaults, and the recon kit. They're pretty much all going to be the standard ones, so I'm not really going to dive into detail. The gadgets is where it really makes the difference between all of these guys as well. So like I was already talking about, the medical syringe, that is one of the most important gadgets, not even just in the medic class, but in every class, because it's such a unique ability, but it is such a crucial ability, especially in Battlefield 1. Like we already went over. Then you also have the medical crate and the medical bandage. The bandage is what you get first. It's going to be that little package, and basically that'll get your teammates like 10 heal, and I think it goes all the way up to either 30 or 40 before it like evaporates and you have to throw out another one. I'd have to look that up just to make sure that I was right about that. But with the medical crate, it's basically a big box that you just throw out, and it's there until somebody either blows it up or you die or whatever the case may be. But that one just dispenses the health, so you're not really going to be running out of anything there. And the medical crate especially, I use that the most, because that just helps the enemy, or the friendlies, just get that health back, especially on a push. I've noticed, like if I'm doing an operation, I want to make sure that I'm throwing that out between every 15 seconds, and that's really going to help your team out, especially like your squad or anything like that, because they're definitely getting the health that they needed from that. So the medical crate and the syringe are probably one of the best. And then you've got go on to the rifle grenades. You've got the HE, or the vehicle explosives. You also have the smoke, and you have the frag grenade. In my opinion, I would definitely say that the HE round is going to be the best one, because it kind of does both. It'll take out infantry really well. You get 3 shots of it, and it like I said, it takes out the infantry. Like if you're doing some trench, if you're kind of running up on a trench area and you see that there are like 3 guys kind of huddled around and you just can't get by them, you just load up that HE round, and you can take out at least 2, if not damage and kill all 3 of those guys, and then be able to push and kill all of them to move on to the next objective. And that's a really good thing to do. With the frag grenade, you're not really doing much damage to the vehicles, so that's kind of why I'm saying that that's not going to be as crucial. The smoke grenade's cool, but that doesn't really fit my playstyle, but the smoke grenade will allow you to move from, like if you're doing more close range combat, it will allow you to move from building to building, without getting seen or spotted or anything like that, so you will have that cover, which is pretty nice to do as well. But also, if you're coming up to an objective, your team is doing a big push, you want to smoke out that area, so that way when you guys get there, you're getting as much cover as possible without getting sniped or, anything like that. So it is very useful. I just, personally, for my playstyle, I don't use that. I would definitely suggest the HE for more of an assaulter kind of a, person. Like I said, I basically do a lot of running and gunning, and so the HE round definitely comes in handy for that. And I haven't mentioned much of it, but it does, like I said, it does do vehicle damage. It's not going to blow up anything, it does, what was it, it does 8 to 10 damage, average on, heavy tanks. It'll do anywhere from 10 to, I think I've gotten up to like 15 or 20, just depends on the placement of where you're doing it. It does do a pretty rapid fire of it too, so you will be able to do some pretty good damage to vehicles. But like I said, as long as, or if they're like at full health, then you're not going to be blowing them up. So it's basically just to put the damage on. But if they already are damaged, then obviously you will be able to take them down depending on how much they have. So basically that's gonna be how much, or what the kind of the breakdown of that. And then I'm gonna kind of go over just a little bit extra information. One of the pieces that I just figured out that has actually really helped me personally on my stats and everything like that. And basically that is on the bottom left hand side of your screen when you're in between there, or when you've just died. And you're waiting for a revive, in the bottom left, you can actually see all of the medics that are in your area that would be able to revive you. It'll show them how far away they are in meters, so you'll be able to see if anybody is near you to reload. So if you're thinking about doing or holding that X button, you know, to do a quick to do a respawn, you might want to hold off just for a few minutes or just for a few seconds there to see if there is anybody, because I promise you it'll definitely help our team out a lot, and it'll help you out especially because every time that you take that death, you're actually you know, damaging your death ratio. So you know, it would be so much more beneficial if you just give it that extra few seconds and wait for them to revive. And then also, like I was saying, in, you know, operation games or conquest or pretty much anything that you're doing, it takes so long for you to revive, or to respawn rather, that it would just be so much more beneficial for us if you were to wait and then get respawned, because you are getting at full health. So just doing that revive is going to definitely increase our odds of getting that objective. So that's pretty much all I've got to say about that. Anything else here? Let me just take a look. That is pretty much everything that I've got here for you guys today. Do you know that I am bringing out a breakdown for every class, not just the medic? So those will be coming out in the next few days here, so please stay tuned for that. If you like this video, please leave a like. It definitely helps me out, and a comment as well. If you guys think you have some ideas as to videos you think I should be posting, if you guys think I have, or you have you know, a good game that I should be playing, anything like that, even if you just want to say hi or whatever the case may be, feel free to leave it in the comment section. I promise you I will be answering questions. I promise you I will be responding to all of the comments down below. You know, and then finally, if you guys could leave a subscribe to get more content. I am coming out with more content, as you guys can see in the past week already. I've already posted quite a few videos, more than I usually do, and the Battlefield 1 videos especially are just going to be rolling out here. So if you guys do want to get some good ideas, good tips, you know, or just see some good gameplay in general, go ahead and leave that subscribe, or hit that subscribe button. And yeah, that's pretty much all I've got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed, and this is going to be Gamerz, and I'm stepping out.